Hey, Frugal family. I'm gonna make a roast chicken for Sunday dinner. And this is about a 3 to 4 pound whole fryer. I took the giblets out but left them in the casserole dish, as you may have seen them down there at the bottom. I'm gonna leave them there because when this chicken cooks and makes its own gravy, it's going to be seasoned by those giblets as well. And then I'm going to take those juices and make a cream gravy. And I season my whole chicken with this everything you can think of seasoning blend. So basically, I had four different types of seasoning blends: a Cajun seasoning blend, a garlic and Himalayan seasoning blend. I had two other McCormick seasonings, and they were all low. And so I just, excuse me, I read the ingredients and I said, they all make sense. They all go together. I put them all in a cleaned out relish jar, and there it is. I added some Badia to it and some Knorr bouillon granules, and I even added some pepper. And so anyway, that's what's in it. Just everything but the kitchen sink. And I'm going to roast that at 350. It took about 2.5 hours, maybe 3. And I'm sauteing the vegetables for my stuffing. I'm doing my stuffing recipe, but the only thing I'm missing is the classic Pepperidge stuffing. Because my recipe is 1 bag of cornbread, Pepperidge cornbread stuffing, and then 1 bag of classic, and then 1 Jiffy box of cornbread, so I have everything in that bowl except for the classic stuffing, and I'm just going to mix that. I also do not have my, simmering pot of homemade chicken broth, so I'm going to make a chicken broth, and that's what I'm going to use to moisten my stuffing. And don't forget to add more seasonings to your stuffing. I always add whatever seasonings I have on hand: poultry seasoning, the Knorr chicken bouillon seasoning, Badia Complete, you name it. I'm going to season it and then taste it. There's nothing in there that's going to give you, salmonella or anything like that. So taste your stuffing. And then I took the drippings from my roast chicken. My roast chicken is it's already cooked. Actually, it's safe to eat, but it's super moist. And it's not going to dry out for some reason. The stuffing kind of protects it from drying out. And I'm going to try to get into the cavity and then just pile it on. I mean, it's a bird. It's a small bird. It's not like our Thanksgiving turkey. And I had that roasting for another hour. It did not dry out my chicken at all. And I basted it. In fact, I'm going to baste it again. Even though it's completely cooked and ready to go, I'm going to baste it one more time while I go and make the gravy. I'm also going to take some of that drippings and put it in my saucepan to make a gravy. And this was absolutely comforting. And right now, this is part of my mental health care plan. Eat comforting food. Do not eat how you feel. And how I feel is empty and sad. And so I'm not going to eat sad meals. That's called emotional eating, isn't it? But sometimes that can be bad for you, because I could skip every meal. Bear wants to skip every meal. But I'm forcing myself to cook some good food and keep up our strength so that we can think clearly and we won't get sick, because we could literally get physically sick if we stop eating or start eating junk or whatever. So, and this is just a traditional gravy recipe. I made a roux, and I swear on Thanksgiving morning, I could not find my black whisk. And I chose, when I was making this video, not to use the fork, because I know that there's people out there like, don't use a fork on Teflon, don't. Even though, ladies and gentlemen, 99% of living beings have C8 in their system. We all have Teflon in our bodies, by the way, in our bloodstream. I said I'm not going to use a fork, so I was using that plastic spoon. Then something just told me to look in this one drawer, and there was my stupid Dollar Tree plastic whisk. So I'm using a plastic whisk. My gravy's going to be a little bit lumpy because it's cheap. It's a cheap whisk, but it's okay. The gravy came out super tasty and flavorful. And this is how I dig into my chicken. There is no placing it on a platter and carving. I'm going to go in there with my tongs and literally grab the meat because it's that tender. And my stuffing is so dense and perfect. I basically use the tongs to serve the plate. So I'm going to pour on some gravy. And look at that gravy. That makes everything all right.
Okay,
gravy on everything. I didn't feel like making anything else. I didn't feel like cooking anything else. So that's what we have. That's our dinner. And it was perfect. And we're going to have so many leftovers for the next 2 days, which is a bonus. Y'all have a good evening.